Hey everyone, Broadbent here. Welcome back to the channel. I know I've not uploaded in quite a little while here, but I've been very busy working on my brand new house. Yeah, I bought my first house. Anyway, that's irrelevant. Let's talk about today's major topic, and that is Endnight Games just dropped the second trailer for Sons of the Forest. Anyway, without further ado, let's watch the trailer first and then break it down. So now what we're going to do is break down the trailer and go scene by scene and sort of look around and see what we can find, new details for the game, because after all, they haven't actually shared that many details for it at all. So the first scene that we have here is the helicopter crash. Now we saw this, gone too far. We saw this with trailer 1, where we had a few guys and it looked like a cannibal getting thrown up at the helicopter, causing us to crash. Either that cannibal got thrown or it jumped. If it jumped, that'd be pretty impressive. But, this is the forest, and the forest is freaky. So on the ground here, we do have an MRE. Oh, not on the ground. I think it's just on something actually there. Trusty little MRE. We've got a few more under the seat here. Got some loose headphones. I assume they're ours. The guy is just sort of sat back chilling. And it looks like we have 2 other guys in the cabin here with us. So, hey, maybe it's up to 3-player co-op. That would be interesting. Nothing else seems to really go on in this scene other than the plane crash with 2 other guys, and then that's pretty much it. Other than we know the fact that the cannibal caused us to crash, assuming that this is the same scenario. Now this next scene, I just have to say, wow. Like, look how beautiful this whole scene is. Like, if you think back to what the first forest, or the forest 1, I'm just gonna call it the forest, the mountain looked like. It was disgusting. It was blurry and everything. It was just like a crap texture. This whole scene looks phenomenal. So I've just switched to a higher quality video because the other one was quite blurry. Right here, if we look down, we can see we've got the GPS, which is actually leading us. If you follow that red dot, it is leading us into the mountains. Now, I'm not sure what this is right here, if we've got something going on with that little black dot. But one thing we know about the forest is the mountain is where the bad stuff happens. Or at least sort of right at the end. This is the obelisk, I think it's called, that takes down the plane. So it looks like we might either be going into that exact same mountain or a different one if this is Site 2. I'm going to expect it to be a completely different map, although judging from what I see here, it doesn't look that way. All the foliage and everything looking in this scene, just damn, it is beautiful. It's like the way the forest should have been. But obviously everyone's familiar with Ubisoft downgrades. Now I'm hoping this isn't the same sort of scenario here. I'm hoping they sort of keep this looking this way for launch. But you've got to expect a downgrade, because this is pretty beautiful. So that's 600 meters away to our destination. Looks like, looking at here, it does look like right there in the mountains. I might be wrong, but that's where it's looking. It's like it's leading us to go. Moving on into the next scene, we have here the chopping animation, which looks exactly like the one from the forest. Like, prove me wrong. It looks the same. But that's okay, for them reusing some stuff here and there. I think that's okay. It's a little bit lazy, but they're allowed to do it because they are making a sequel. So This here looks pretty darn nice. I do like that you can see all the different angles and all that stuff. It's much more detailed. Very nice. Oh, and the debris falling out. I like that so much, the wood chippings. And here is where the stuff starts to get a little freaky again. We are in an open, snowy area, and we're walking up to this little lady again, the dancing one from trailer 1. Really not sure what's going to be going on with her, other than she's like, I guess she might be leading us places or just stalking us. I don't know. Maybe it's a new red cannibal. Taking a step back, quite literally, over at the hut here, we've got 5 what appear to be solar panels, and I think 2 more on the ground right there. If I get a little bit closer, yeah, I think it's quite easy to say they are solar panels. And also, this is, I believe, a drying rack. It's really quite hard to tell, but I'm going to assume that's either a drying rack or it's a drying rack. It's got to be. So we've got solar panels, a new hut, or it's actually quite similar to the first one from the forest. So we've got a hut, 5 solar panels, which means we're going to have electric. Not sure what's going to happen with that. Maybe we're just charging up batteries, for example. That would be cool. You know, some lights inside the house. Nothing crazy. Obviously, this is a bit more of an advanced game, so we're going to have guns and stuff like that, as you saw in the trailer. Rather exciting. Anyway, let's move on upwards a little bit. We can see it's just behind the log. Right here, we've got an axe stuck in the log, so that might be another buildable. I know you can build that in the forest. Moving up, we've also got a guitar right here, so hopefully we can play that, you know, and just chill a little bit, play some tunes. The detail in this snow, like, I'm concerned about it because it's so promising, but I just have a feeling that that isn't going to happen. So, you know, like, we're just walking through the snow biome. I don't think we're going to have snow looking like this behind us. It's such a high-end thing. Like, think of Rise of the Tomb Raider and all the Tomb Raider series. They are such graphically intensive games, and they have this. And I haven't seen many other games do that very well, if any. Anyway, moving on from that, we've got nice little trails in the snow. Whether or not they're going to be in the game for when we walk around, that is a good question. You can see the log we're carrying here also has some snow on it, which is really nice. But obviously, we're working on that right shoulder again. Always carrying them on there. Although, do you reckon we can carry 2? I don't know. It looks like we can only carry 1, to be honest. Maybe we're building... we're building the little roof here. That's what this log's for. Right. Got ya. So in the next scene, we are at a nice, warm-looking waterfall. Now, this whole setting is looking very similar to the forest, except that water's looking quite a lot nicer. Honestly, looks like GTA water. Right here, we go back with the lady. Obviously, we're holding a crossbow. I've got to say, it is a very weird crossbow, though. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this. I'm not really much of an outdoorsy, hunty person, but that is a rather interesting shape for a bow or crossbow. Yeah, interesting. I've never seen that before. Here we are back again with that lady. I guess she's going to be showing up around the place. Maybe we're following her, who knows. But 3 legs, looking fairly normal for the forest standards. 3 legs. Wait, do you have 3 legs? You've got 3 arms. Okay, same girl. So we've got a nice new weapon here. It looks like some leaping fish over in the water. Just look up here. Leaping fish, look at that. I bet they're not in the game. Maybe this lady is like our story driver. Like, she'll give us quests and, you know, push us to progress forwards. That's one thing that I struggled with in the forest, was it just sort of like, I felt it was too open world. Like, just do whatever you want. No story. Go find the story. It was a bit odd that way. Hopefully things change here. Other than that, there's really not much going on in this scene other than the water vapor here from the waterfall and nice graphics, leaping fish, and a weird woman. So moving on to the next scene, it gets really, really dark. So I'm sorry for the YouTube compression. It's going to destroy this part. You can see that we are holding a pistol. Finally, we have some guns. I mean, not every game needs guns, but I think this is quite a fitting, a nice little addition, a change. It allows for much harder enemies. Now, speaking of enemies, this guy is charging us. He's pushing us so hard. He's wielding what appears to be a huge bone, probably a leg. So obviously we do shoot him right here, and then the other guy comes back out and is like, yo, what you doing? You shooting my buddy? Now, that was a very clear headshot with a survivor. that is the woman right there. I think she has 3 arms, one going to the back, one going forward, and one going down. Yep, this is the exact same woman right here. So back in the previous scene, I really hope that we have some good quality voice acting and a nice, like, sort of a character to drive us through the story. Damn, that would be so good. Now, I'm not entirely sure about this, but it is possible that you do play Timmy during this, and you are obviously coming back to maybe destroy the thing that ruined your life. That's just a possibility, I don't know it. But this woman, as seen in the next scene right here, looks to be quite normal. To say she has 3 arms, she's pointing, you know, like help, help, shoot, and she's freaked out by it. So it's very possible that we've got some sort of romance between Timmy, if he does have any mutations, and this woman right here. A nice little love story in the forest would be rather interesting. Anyway, that is just a theory though. Anyway, moving on, from the really freaky scene where she's like, oh, like acting normal. That's so strange to see in a game like this. I'm just so used to the forest being just one person. So in this next scene here, we have what appears to be 3 cannibals, obviously wielding bone, wearing skulls, or at least parts of skulls on their face, and looking quite healthy-ish, say they're eating. We've got revamped textures for the cannibals and bone clubs, it looks like, for them to wield. Also on the left, don't miss it, this guy, or this woman, I can't tell, is tending to the fallen blue guy, looking after him. So, not sure if blue basically means like a leader of the pack, but basically has someone looking after him, which is rather interesting. Looking forward to some new AI mechanics. Now, this next scene gets me very, very excited for Sons of the Forest. You can be seen digging, actually digging. That's something that I wanted for so long in the forest, so I could just make better stuff. I'm not sure if this is going to be like a free ability, or you have to do it in specific spots, like treasure hunts or something like that. But damn, this looks so good. If that is how digging looks when the game launches, which it won't, I don't think, then wow, that is phenomenal. It looks amazing in the moonlight. And the lightning, dude, look at that. Now, it appears that the object I'm digging up has a glass front, a big safe, and something inside it, which I don't recognize. Right here, we've got a few hexagons tied together. Obviously, it looks like something to do with Sahara Therapeutics. Maybe this is actually one of the artifacts. As silly as that sounds, I wonder if that is another artifact. Now, with the next scene, things get a little bit complicated, and I'm sort of doing a bit of guessing. So, this right here, I believe, is to be an entryway into your own little bunker. I assume this bunker is going to be laid around the map. I don't know, that is just one big assumption. But right here, we have, it's very hard to see, but there's a doorway at the back of the hall here with one fluorescent light. Now, this could be a part of a remains of a facility for Sahara Therapeutics. Right here on the left, it looks like we have, I think, some pigeonholes and, I don't know, a hand scanner. I can't tell what that is. It's so dark. But let's skip ahead just a little bit here. Yeah, it's hard to tell what's on the left there. Really strange. Anyway, further up ahead, it is sort of showing ever so slightly a door. And this looks like it leads into this nice little sort of bunker apartment area. Now, I believe that this is a safe house that you can go into and sort of save the game and chill when you're done with your adventure in the forest. Now, right here on the screen, don't worry about the text. That is just sort of like a sing-along song, quite weirdly. But we've got like just a typical living area, very messy. We've got like loads of stuff over it. The fridge is open, but everything looks quite normal. Nothing is out of place here. So I'm thinking this is sort of like a lounge left over for Sahara Therapeutics. Now, the main reason that I believe this is because of this. Down here in the hallway, we have... This is a 3D printer. Right here, we see that we've printed a mask. We have 90 milliliter of fluid, the printing fluid. I don't really know how 3D printers work, but we have 90. It looks like our capacity is 100, and this mask costs 10 milliliters to print. That's what it looks like. On the left here, we also have what I'm pretty sure is Timmy's old toy, which is rather cool. So we've obviously found schematics, maybe printed that somehow. And inside, you can see the layers. It is definitely 3D printed. We can choose the colors. Now, keep in mind, this mask is very important for later on in the video. Next up, we have splitting logs. This is like basically revamped building from what I can tell. Not the actual building itself, but the animations it looks like to build. Look, you split the log and you lay it down. Everything is now much more immersive, essentially. That's what they are doing with this. It looks so smooth and good. Like, damn, they did a good job with that. And then in this scene right here, it looks like we one-hit the log, which is obviously a bit overkill, but either way, it is so nice to see animations for building stuff, because it was basically non-existent. You know, the item teleported from your shoulder straight into the structure. Now, in this clip, I have to be probably the most excited for this, to be honest. It looks like a village raid. So right here is our base, at least what looks like our base. We've got a little wall going around it, and then looks like a pre-built hut. Now right here, yes, we do also have zip lines. We'll get to that in just a sec. But we've got this guy trying to break into our house, using all of his body weight to try and get in. Very forceful. We've got a bunch of cannibals breaking down our walls as well. We're attacking them. This guy's looking very weird, just chilling on the roof there. They're also tearing down the wall, as you can see on the very left right here. The logs actually collapse down as they break them, which is super cool. Really nice. And a little log flying in here. They're also either stealing our logs, or we are enforcing some workers to do some work for us. Yeah, let's not go down that road. But for real, if these guys were actually, like, if we could tame them somehow with a mask, that would be damn cool. So moving on here, we've got a big guy with a mask. It's really quite hard to tell. You could go two paths. At least the way I see it, you could go two paths. This guy is either the leader of the cannibal pack, or he is somehow become an ally to us, and he's helping us attack or defend the camp. Very hard to tell, at least from my point of view. This guy I don't see this guy doing any big damage, essentially. So this could very well either be an NPC or is hostile. I can't tell. Let me know what you think to that in the comments. We will see more of this guy later on in the trailer, but yes, we've got the zip line that goes all the way over there, so it looks like the distance is honestly around the same. Everything's looking good. Right here on the left, we have the collapsed structure that has fallen through a little bit with the raid. I'm going to call it a raid. Quite hard to tell if it is or not, but damn, that would be really cool. Other than that, there's really not much more to cover here other than some nice, brand new, fancy looking textures, new skins, I guess you want to call them skins, textures for the cannibals. I have a feeling this guy is actually wearing some red paint, so perhaps he is on our side. I have a feeling, you know, don't hold me to it, but I do have a feeling, and then he yeets the cannibal out of the way. And in the next scene here, you can see us wearing one of the 3D printed masks, which is really cool. Obviously, this cannibal, or whatever this guy turns out to be, seems to be quite passive with us when we're wearing it. So this is obviously the Sons of the Forest version of the red paint, by the looks of it, is these masks that you can craft and use throughout the world, which is really, really, really cool. Now again, I could speculate for days whether or not this guy is, because he's wearing the gold mask, he could be the leader of the cannibals and we can communicate with him, or he could be working with us. That is all up in the air, so let me know what you think in the comments. Personally, I think he's going to be a helpful AI. A companion, maybe. And now we are down to the very last scene here, where we have what I can only describe it as an armless armsy. If you think of an armsy, they do have like an opening in the torso like this. So maybe it's like an early stage of an armsy without arms. It's really hard to tell. It's probably just going to be a new mutant. It actually looks to be completely harmless. Maybe it can swallow you somehow. And we are wielding the stick, the trusty old stick, which I like. We also right here have a taser or a stun gun, whatever you want to call it. And we are zapping this guy. And it's not really doing much. And then a few frames later, you can get a good look at that stun gun right there. Looks pretty nice. This waterfall actually looks like the exact same scene earlier on where we saw the woman right here. Let me know what you think to that in the comments. Personally, I think it is the same place. Like just upon this ridge up at the top is right where we are here. It looks like it, but might not be. We've got like a new cannibal here, or this is a mutant actually. They are conjoined. So that's interesting. We've got one down there as well. Not sure what's going on with this. If that's a log, I really can't tell. That's so far. Like, I think that's just A mutant, a fallen mutant right there. This mutant looks so weird. Like, it seems completely harmless. Maybe it can, like, swing its head around and hurt you or swallow you somehow. But other than that, that is everything for this trailer breakdown. After this, we just go into the title and the release year. So they are planning a release date for 2021. I wouldn't expect them to come out with this game in January. Do not do that, please. You will let yourself down. The further you set this back in your head, the better off you will be. I'm expecting this to come out probably September, but it could come out in July, but the later you push it back in your head, the less disappointed you will be when it doesn't come out. So that is going to be everything for my trailer breakdown for Sons of the Forest Trailer 2. If I did miss anything, make sure to let me know in the comments, and I might end up pinning your comment if it's something very important. I want to say a huge thank you for you to making it to the end of this video, and I want to talk very briefly about why I haven't been uploading quite a lot. Basically, I bought a house, and it's a big DIY project, and it has been consuming a lot of my time. I want to move in as soon as possible, and I've been pushing all of my time into that. I am really sorry for not uploading any videos at all, pretty much for like a month and a half. I am slowly coming back into this, and I will be pushing more and more videos out after I move in, which will probably be in the New Year's. Let me know your thoughts to this trailer in the comments below. Does it get you hyped? Does it get you worried? Why? You know, let me know. Start a discussion. If I don't see you before, I hope you have a great Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Catch you later, guys.